This is Observious bringing you guys another League of Legends commentary, and today I'm taking support Alistar bottom, presumably with Caitlyn as Warwick is jungling, and I'm expecting Akali to take the top lane. Although, I guess she could go bottom, this is just me assuming. They do have a Fiddlesticks jungle on purple. They're probably going to have that Malphite top lane, their Swain mid, their Ashe could too, I suppose. Ashe bottom with Tryndamere. And lore-wise, that makes sense since Ashe and Tryndamere were married at some point in the lore, and so they rule like some snowy land somewhere off in imaginary land, otherwise known as Demacia. Oh no, that's a nation. I fail. I've already forgotten the name of the nation, but I do digress. Not the nation, but the land. Runeterra, I believe. In any case, this game is basically, unabashedly, and I am spoiling by saying this, a game where clairvoyance is shown to be overpowered to some extent. I'm really spot on with my clairvoyances, and why, people want someone on their team to have clairvoyance in most ranked games is because of the possibility of this. If you know where to CV, then you can shut down ganks and so on and so forth. And it's kind of also going to keep me busy since I am of course going to be support Alistar. I'm going to be taking my Q first. Now it looks like there's going to be a level 1 fight going on here. I don't really think anyone's going to die. I mean, yep, they're going to go ahead and back off. Over there, my CV's going to go ahead and just pick up Fiddlesticks over there. He's going to go ahead and flash over the wall. But they could possibly come back. Akali's saying we should be stealing this blue buff, so that's exactly what we're going to do. And already this is a little bit interesting for that. Malzahar wastes his Q, though, on the bush. I think that was an accident there. Possibly it was on Smartcast or something like that. Caitlyn, of course, posing in that outback. Caitlyn, Akali doing much the same in her normal gear. Of course, Golden Alistar. The guy sticking out of my side is a classic Warwick, but that includes goldenish armor. And Malzahar's in his standard skin. Apparently that's just cool to look at. Meanwhile, Caitlyn wastes, like, if he had just walked into the trap, we would have killed him instantly, but instead Caitlyn throws down a trap, and we just do a little bit of damage to him. But we are going to go ahead and go for this blue buff steal, which means damage, and more damage. Warwick does go ahead and smite it, and the Voidling possibly going to steal experience here. No, Caitlyn can go ahead and last hit it. So he's going to be down a little bit of experience, but he's going to go straight to his golems. Caitlyn just blew a flash, as apparently she wants to just go ahead and gank Ashe, who doesn't have a crit arrow. You could see her last hitting minions. So she's going to go ahead and start running down there, and it looks like I'm going to be just running over here. Akali is going to be bottom, and the reason I was coming up here was I was expecting I was going to be stuck top, but it looks like Malzahar is going to be top, Akali is going to be mid, Caitlyn's going to be mid, and I'm going to be bottom lane with Akali, which is all convoluted and weird. Meanwhile, Swain is going to be top, Ashe is going to be mid. I forgot that they had a jungler somehow. I know, Malphite's going to be bottom with Tryndamere. What? Alright, this doesn't make too much sense. We'll go ahead and see how that's going on, but that's okay because it's going to be 2 melees versus 2 melees, so all's good. Didn't really pick him up here. I'm trying to find where Fiddlesticks is because I know he wasn't at blue. He's not at red or wraiths, so I'm expecting him to have taken our blues. And I'm just like, what? Where's Fiddlesticks? Because I don't think he's ready to gank yet. Especially not without 6, but I mean, just even with that double CC of fear and silence. Malzahar, meanwhile, isn't really caring. He's gonna go ahead and get rooted by Swain and auto-attacked once, and hit by the laser bird. But he's okay, because, Swain supposedly is bad now, ever since he got a series of nerfs. And Fiddlesticks is, of course, gonna go ahead and walk on the trap, trying to see if his blue buff is still there. Gonna go ahead and CV him, and this wasn't really a necessary CV, but I do go ahead and make sure that he's there. And so he's going to go ahead and head to his wraiths or reds, as I don't believe he can really gank at this point in time. And I didn't remember to check his level as I'm watching this replay. and I think he's only like level 1 still. Maybe he's level 2. As I guess that makes sense since level 2 and level 3 is supposed to be level 3. But I did miss out on some experience. I'm gonna go ahead and get the W and the Q, as I just said. For, you know what, forget heals. I've got potions. I go ahead and hit 3, and I go ahead and get level 1 heal now. But Akali is getting fairly low. She could give up first blood here. CV gonna pick up that. Okay. Fiddlesticks is likely at golems and going to top. Although Caitlyn's pushed up, so I guess he could come around here, but I don't really think so, since I'm be trying jungle. And so, Fiddlesticks isn't really going to make himself appear. Again, I'm just CVing this spot right here. This ramp is, of course, a good place to ward, but that's only for the ramp, actually, as having persistent area there, but having the ability to see over the wall lets you just know when those camps are up. And so I'm probably going to drop a CV here now, just to make sure the next cooldown, which is right now. Meanwhile, more stuff going on, and I drop it over by the wolf camp and go, aha, he's over here, and that wolf camp did just respawn. So Felix is going to go ahead and come back and start doing that wolf camp. And there he is over there, as Warwick did go ahead and take his newly respawned wolf camp, which I guess is why I CV'd there. But now we know that he's here. He's going to be coming either mid or bottom. Blue buff isn't going to spawn for like another 2 minutes, so he's going to be out of luck there. But he could possibly come across the street. Warwick, meanwhile, is ganking pre-6, which means Swain isn't going to die at all. And he's just going to be leeching some experience, but at least making Swain a little bit more scared. So hopefully he's denying a little bit. Meanwhile, that next CV goes ahead and picks up Fiddlesticks at the race. I see him going up, which could be a trick, but I'm saying he could go top or mid at this point. Looks like he was going to go ahead and go get his red buff, but I really think he needs to cover this top lane, as Warwick is staying in lane, making himself really scary. But now he's going to go ahead and recall, so we'll see exactly where Fiddlesticks goes next. In the bottom lane, of course, Akali was peeking around. I don't think she dropped that ward, maybe she did. But I'm going to go ahead and just be holding on over here. She goes, throws down her little thingy. Sees Malphite, I go ahead and headbutt him out of that. And being like, oh, get out of my base. That was a wasted Q, which just costs fairly decent mana. And I'll be okay though, as I have enough for my combo. Still, not the best thing you want to do. My CV, I don't think it picked up anyone. I see that, oh, columns are missing, but he still hasn't taken red buff. And yep, I'm going to go ahead and say MIA. I have no idea where he is now. Blue buff did just spawn, so I'm going to go ahead and CV that a bit on my next CV in 20 seconds. Which, unless he was waiting there to take blue buff, should be enough time to catch him doing it. If he is going straight to it, which I would be if I'm Fiddlesticks, since mana is my resource. And speaking of blue buff, Warwick already has his. Akali's going to go ahead and say it's an easy gank bot in a minute. I've got mana, so I don't really mind. Here comes Warwick coming around for that gank. Fiddlesticks is going to go ahead and get spotted taking blue buff. He's already gotten his blue buff. He's taken one of the little guys. There's one little guy left, but he is in the area. Warwick isn't 6 yet. He's still level 5, so he's not really able to do anything. Malphite's full HP, and that was, I believe, my fault, as much like in this replay, I was looking at where Fiddlesticks was, pinging it, then seeing Warwick come in the gank. So I was like, ooh, yay, I CV'd Fiddlesticks, and yep, totally missed that out. However, first blood is taken by Swain versus Malzahar. It's a little bit surprising there, but I guess Swain's sustainability with his ultimate was just too strong versus Malzahar. Suppression, DOT, HP, percent pool, and all of that. But Swain is a fairly decent solo, even post nerfs. So Caitlyn's going to be dueling Ashe. She does have a headshot, so we're going to go and use that on Ashe. Not going to channel her ultimate though, I'm guessing it's down. And also I was going to go, like he didn't expect it either. I'm going to go ahead and talk about how I'm low mana despite us both being at full HP. And so, like, I really don't want to stick around, as there's His Fiddlestick's taking his red. Possibly we could go gank him, and he's going to be like, oh, yep, someone could come ahead and gank me, but he's going to go ahead and turn on his brain in that bush over there. Warwick's seeing that, going to be coming around, and we could possibly see some action going on over here. And yep, going to go ahead and see Fiddlesticks still trying to get it. I'm going to go ahead and look over here. And sure enough, he ultimates Fiddlesticks as soon as he starts to drain on the red buff. So he's going to go ahead and get the actual red buff stolen, and so Fiddlesticks is just really shut down at the moment, although it is currently 1 kill to 1 kill. Swain was thinking about coming in to help, but once he saw that he was dead and Malzahar was missing, and that would just be not fun. Came back up to lane. You know, we're being really pushed up. I've got my mana back up, so I'm happy. And I'm going to go ahead and headbutt and pop them both up, but I can't really do outside of that. Waiting for the cooldown. Kalia's going to go ahead and flash out. I'm going to use my heal. I'll have not enough for a headbutt. Going to be waiting on mana for a Q. And Malphite's just going to go ahead and say nice, because clearly that was planned, where we just trade off. And in that trade-off we force one of our guys to flash. But you take what you can get. And here's something you have to remember. Malphite has enough for that ultimate, which does a fairly long knock-up. Tryndamere has that 5 seconds of invulnerability, but Akali's saying it's an easy gank bot coming up. I'm like, I don't have mana. I want mana. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and drop my CV. See, blue buff is missing, and I forgot, like, I shouldn't have. But that blue buff shouldn't be there for another few minutes. Wolves are there, though, so I'm expecting him to be in this top jungle or recalled. So mainly it's going to be mid, which has recalled, or the top lane that should be getting ganked shortly. And Swain is going to go ahead and do that. Meanwhile, there's going to go ahead and be a ping here, and I've been using my mana. I'm talking about how I should be. But nonetheless, Warwick is coming around. He is now level 7, so he does have his ultimate. Presumably, I've already used my Q once, and he's going to go ahead and throw down his ultimate onto Malphite, and that cleanse is not going to save him. And a really up-close Ashe arrow. What? Alright, so my CV picks up Ashe over here, but I heard that arrow. Like, I thought you could see arrow in Fog of War. Did they change that? I don't know. Maybe you can only see allied arrows in Fog of War. It sounded like it was just shot, though, so that's a little bit interesting. You know, I'm talking about how I have no mana, so I'm going to go ahead and recall. And that'll be that. And apparently Kate missed that CS, so Ashe is happy that Kate missed a last hit somehow. Gonna go ahead and look over at the last hits for themselves. Caitlyn's at 80, Ashe is at 69, so I don't know what she's talking about. Malzahar is keeping the lane pushed versus Swain, very predictable. I'm talking about how I've just got a Sheen and a Ward, as you know, we need this covered so we don't get Fiddlesticks ganked. And I'm going to go ahead and talk about how Fiddlesticks is in the top jungle since this is still missing. That's just something you can do if they have a jungler and you have a jungler. Speaking of, if they have a jungler and you don't have a jungler and you have CV, you're going to be shooting in the dark because they could start in your jungle, they could visit your jungle at any point in time, and you won't be able to accurately predict where they are. The less area you have to vision, the better. So, on that line, there's Malphite really late showing up in the mid lane, but right about here is a good spot to CV, just because, hey, wolves, hey, blue buff, hey, over here, and then in between buffs, like over there, is good, like golems, this back path is covered, this is covered right here, and then inversely, golems, lizard, and wraiths are covered. So, just something to remember. 1, 2, 3. Meanwhile, Warwick, just go ahead and use his ultimate on Malphite, and coupled with the Akali leap, and ooh, that Ashe headshot is going to cause some, not Ashe headshot, Ashe Enchanted Crystal is going to cause some serious damage. I'm going to go ahead and note that the blue buff is up, and I'm going to go ahead and ward that blue, just in case, to both see people coming, and to potentially gank whoever's there later on, and just make it so I don't have to CV that as much. And so we're going to go ahead and start doing blue. Meanwhile, this lane's getting pushed kind of hard by Tryndamere, who has vanished. Possibly is coming. Warwick's going to go ahead and come in, and we are going to go ahead and get this dragon. However, Caitlyn's getting chased, and she is at low health and mana. Tryndamere does go ahead and peek his head out and sees, oh, hey, they're over here. So he's going to be running. He uses his flash to be about right here and running that way. And so we're going to go ahead and push this minion wave off. I'm at low health and mana, so I probably shouldn't hang around too long. And Malphite's going to go ahead and peek out and see, oh, it's a Warwick. I should run away. Not too certain if he couldn't have poked, but I guess it was the right idea since Malzahar did go ahead and show up. My CV is up, so I'm going to go ahead and toss it down over here. You can't toss it down in the middle over here, but that's not really the best of spots to do it during the laning phase when you're trying to pick up the jungler's location. And speaking of the jungler's location, if you are really pushed up, then, oh, hey, look, Ward picking up Fiddlestick's about to start doing his blue, so that's good to know. Malphite ultimate coming in here, so I'm going to go ahead and take my first death. Second kill for their team. The tower's going to go down from Caitlyn, and we're going to go ahead and pick up Malphite. Meanwhile, Fiddlesticks is going to go ahead and keep on doing his blue, figuring it's pointless to come in. He is level 6, and that's not a recent level 6, as it's not from killing the Golem. So we're going to go ahead and chase after Fiddlesticks and be like, hey, Fiddlesticks, we're taking your blue buff. And, yep, Caitlyn's going to go ahead and pick up that blue buff. And that is going to be that. Although it looks like now there are 2 wards there. Or no, I think there's like a Caitlyn trap there. I can't really tell, but there it is. There's the Caitlyn cupcake. Fiddlestick is, of course, going to go ahead instead to the race, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about how I see him all day. Swain's going to go ahead and get detected over here, coming in, and so Akali is going to go ahead and back off by running to where he was, and it's going to go ahead and be 3 champions in that bottom lane. And I'm going to go ahead and just be off on my Mary. I've got my Sheen, I've got my cooldown reduction boots. It looks like I'm building the recommended, and that's just mainly because I like Sheen on Alistar. Call me crazy. And cooldown reduction is just awesome because the main thing that's so popular about Alistar is he does have that CC, which isn't reducible by tenacity. And so Fiddlestick is, of course, going to be taking that Lizard, giving it to Ashe, and Swain is going to be heading back to his top lane. And there he is.
Your team has destroyed.
And Akali is going to go ahead and talk about how she's going to go ahead and solo the bottom lane now, since she doesn't need 2 to defend the tower with their tower gone. I think that makes sense, and so I'm okay with that. I'm just going to go ahead and keep roaming. Going to go ahead and put a ward here, so I don't really need to CV this spot anymore. I'll just CV like this little section right here. Although I know red buff is gone, but I know their blue buff is gone too, so I pretty much just check the usual locations, like, oh, what I was saying. If you're pushed up trying to take out their tower, then yes, you're probably going to have to drop CVs here if you don't have an idea of where their jungler is. There's me CVing where it was. The little golems are here. I did go ahead and catch Tryndamere coming up there, but it didn't really quite matter. There's Ashe getting picked up by a ward she doesn't even know, and she's just going to go ahead and run away. And there's Fiddlesticks in this bush, probably channeling his ultimate as we speak. And I'm telling them it's a trap, and they're not picking up on it. And so here's Ashe now with that red buff. Fiddlestick should be cawing in soon. And yeah, they're just going to go ahead and get wiped badly. We're all, of course, coming in way too late. Caitlyn's going to go ahead and go OMG because she didn't see it coming. I'm going to go ahead and headbutt the Ashe. I didn't even want to do that. I wanted to headbutt her so she would be stuck against the wall, but that wall is thin, so I'm just going to go and go through. So Tryndamere's going to live with low health, and I don't think anyone died for them. Nope, Swain did, and Tryndamere did, but for all 5 of us, and so that was definitely not worth it. And nope, I headbutted Fiddle, so that's that. But yes, this is a thin wall. If you headbutt somebody against it, they will go through it, as opposed to this is a this is a thick wall. If you headbutt somebody, they will not go through it. If you headbutt, say, the golem, then they'll probably go through the wall. Likewise, this is a thick wall. If you headbutt them, they will not go through it. This is a thin wall. If you headbutt the blue buff golem, he will go through the wall and walk back around this way. I've done it a few times. Meanwhile, Fiddlesticks is seen just from wards doing the race, as there is a ward here and a ward here. And he's even going to get spotted recalling, so he's just funny. And Ashe, meanwhile, over here, before this was going on, was seen running away from the top lane, and so I CV'd over here, and so she stopped in the middle of the CV, did a little bitty dance, I can't believe I missed it, and then kept on running, just to tease me. Meanwhile, Malphite, getting a little bit low, he's on half health, but he's a fairly tanky character. He's building tank items, or at least a ruby crystal. Looks kind of like he's rushing a Warmogs, actually. Fiddlesticks is, of course, coming up this backside, gets CV'd, just to make sure that we have vision on him at all times, even in the bush, and I'm, of course, trying to find a way to get around there. Akali, not Alistar, and Malzahar are going to be having some fun. I'm going to go ahead and try headbutt and queuing Ashe. Doesn't quite work out, but Warwick goes ahead and jumps on, not quite the best idea. Here comes Fiddlesticks with his. I'm trying to find a way to headbutt him away. Shoo. Get out of here. I've got my ultimate on, so I'm not really going to hurt. Malzahar just go ahead and get picked up, and I'm not looking good. It's almost like I'm protecting him. I'm gonna go ahead and make Tryndamere spin out. I'm eating a drink, so I'm gonna go ahead and die. I think it's not looking good for Team Blue. I'm just doing some fairly bad headbutts this game. Fiddlesticks will get low, but he's not gonna die. And now Caitlyn's getting chased. Akali is just waiting to possibly kill somebody. She's not even going to pick up a kill there.
Shut down.
Although a Caitlyn trap will kill Ashe. So Caitlyn trap killing things is much like a Teemo Strum killing things, except it's rarer and funnier when it actually happens. And so because of that, Ashe is going to go ahead and shout in caps across all chat, trap lol, OMG lol. And so I'm going to go ahead and point out that we have the pick people off in the die composition with 2 suppresses, the ace in the hole ultimate where it's a single target nuke basically. For Caitlyn, I've got the damage reduction soak to just tank stuff, and Akali is of course an assassin that's great at killing people individually. Meanwhile, they have Swain, whose ultimate is basically AoE damage and lifesteal from things that he hits. Fiddlesticks is a big AoE circle of death called the Curse Storm. Ashe is the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, which is basically an I win team fight initiator. Malphite has a big AoE pop-up with Cleanse and Exhaust to make sure that he gets there, and so he's got that going for him, and Tryndamere is there for the cleanup, as well as, the whole 5 seconds of invulnerability. Meanwhile, of course, blue team, while I was doing that analysis, did go ahead and grab Dragon for themselves. As far as towers go, we are up 2 towers at the moment, with them having 0. But the enemy team is up 3 kills, but I don't think that quite compares to being down 2 towers. And of course we're going to go ahead and take their blue buff again, so we're just getting denied that blue buff. We'll see exactly if it'll affect them too much. As far as champions that they have that are blue buff dependent, that list is Fiddlesticks and maybe Swain, but he does have a Catalyst of the Protector and is getting that Rod of Ages, so he won't be too hurt by not having blue buff. And kind of wasn't expecting it anyways with him being over there. Meanwhile, Malphite, of course, getting spotted going into the bush, and of course, once he's in the bush, does go ahead and step on a trap. And so, Caitlyn is going to go ahead and she's going to go ahead and use her 90 caliber net. And that will be that. Having a little bit of lag here. Hope it doesn't show up on the recording. I'm going to go ahead and go to 1. See if we can do anything about it. Nope. That's just slow motion. My FPS, according to Craps, is currently only 2 to 6, so that is just terrible. And hopefully it will all go together just fine. I'm going to go ahead and be covering the mid lane versus Ashe, who has red buff, so that's just no bueno at all, since she can poke me from distance. And I suppose I can headbutt her, but that's about it. As she does have the double slow, I'm going to go ahead and Q the minions to try to bring them down, popping my heal, and all of that good stuff. And she's taking me extremely low over there, but the bait is working to get it. So I'm going to go go ahead and pop up Ashe. And with the double ultimate, which wasn't really chained that well, Ashe should go down. We'll see exactly if she is able to escape. There's going to go ahead and be a flash, and she will die. Trinidad is, of course, going to go ahead and just keep on farming the lane like he wants to. Fiddlesticks, of course, getting spotted all over the place as we have really good vision. That's Evie, of course, picking him up, and someone else over here. And Malphite is, of course, going to go ahead and try to push down this tower. So we're going to have to cover the side lanes on top and bottom, as we do have towers still there, and of course there will be snowballed minion waves going that direction. Malzahar is going to go ahead and cover top. No one's going to go ahead and cover bot for the moment, but it looks like, oh, no, Tryndamere is going to go ahead and keep on pushing this, so someone needs to go there. I'm going to go ahead and start doing that myself. It looks like Caitlyn is going to teleport down here. Yes, she is. Shooting that Piltover Peacemaker and keeping that lane pushed back. Meanwhile, two AP champions, Swain and Fiddlesticks, are going to both just sort of rock out in the mid lane, pushing back our own little push with the minions. And I think we see, yep, Fiddlesticks is, of course, going to go ahead and drain those wolves down. Blue buff, of course, is not for him since we did steal it. Although, let's see, Akali has blue buff, and Malzahar has blue buff, so yep, we did go ahead and steal it. Ashe is going to go ahead and get caught by Akali, which generally means a dead squishy. And there's the ignite. She might not die here. No, looks like Akali is going to go ahead and have to leave instead. And so that's going to be a fairly fair exchange, if you can use fairly and fair consecutively. And Tryndamere is, of course, going to go ahead and be waiting for the minions to come to him so he can chop them up with his blade. And that is exactly what's going to happen. Fiddlesticks is going to go ahead and get spotted by a Clairvoyance. You can see that I kind of want this to be warded, but in reality, this ward spot is going to go ahead and be here, and then maybe here, as that catches the same things. Or alternatively, a ward here is also really good, since you can catch this, you can catch this, and that's just a really good spot to control. Fiddlesticks and Malphite, of course, are going to go ahead and try to cover that top lane, as we have yet to kill this outer tower, the very last outer tower remaining. And you see Warwick waiting in the wings, hoping they don't know that he's there. Oh, never mind, guess not. And instead going to dive with the Alistar coming in and taking the tower aggro. Oh, no, Warwick got tower aggro. He's taking himself rather low. I've got my ultimate on though, and it looks like Swain could go down, or the flash could save him, but nope, there goes the Caitlyn ultimate, and he's going to go ahead and go down. But at the same time, Tryndamere is pushing mid rather hard, Ashe is pushing bottom rather hard, and so we're going to go ahead and trade 2 towers for 2 towers. We're going to go ahead and even push up to this tower, possibly get the inhibitor, and I don't really see anyone spawning anytime soon. We're going to go ahead and keep pushing. That stun will go ahead and hit me, so that's going to slow me down a little bit. We're even going to go ahead and go for it. Ashe did go ahead and recall, but Tryndamere is still pushing this tower down. We're currently tied on tower kills. We're not able to get that inhibitor. Akali does go ahead and dive back in there, so I'm going to go ahead and dive back in here. Pop up the Malphite, headbutt the Ashe. He's going to cleanse out of that. So it looks like we're going to go ahead and just kill this inhibitor. Trying to kill it. We do go ahead and get the inhibitor, but I'm dead, Akali's dead, and we're just going to go ahead and get out of there. But Trent at the same time is going to go ahead and get that turret, so now our mid is bleeding, so this is a fairly bad exchange. Oh, Tryndamere is going to go ahead and duel Warwick. Who will win? No one knows. There's a spin, and I don't know. Tryndamere is, of course, going to go ahead and flash out after using his Endless Rage. Warwick looked like he wasn't really hurt too much by that. But he's going to go ahead and get hit by Swain. Ouch, ouch, ouch. He's still going to go ahead and chase, though. And then turn around to just deal with the minions. Dragon's going to go ahead and get pinged, and they're going to go ahead and do that. But, yes, they did go ahead and trade 3 towers for 3 towers, in essence. Although they didn't have any taken before. And, an extra inhibitor, which although it doesn't grant gold, that does mean that that lane will be perpetually pushed, as that super minion can beat up many, many more minions compared to other minions of its type. I mean, of its other minions in general. Muffet, of course, trying to fight that, is going to be laning against the super minions, so that way they don't have to worry about that lane for so much. Not that we're really in place to stop him, as of course, after getting Dragon, Caitlin's going to go ahead and recall, Mousewipe's going to go ahead and take Race, Warwick's looking to do something, maybe their blue buff is up, I'm not even sure, Swain doesn't have it, oh, no, Phil6 did go ahead and take blue, but I don't think we noticed that, as someone is pinging it, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about how I need to get some wards, and that will be that. You see, I'm not really concerned about the AP damage of the enemy team, as I've got a Shirley's Reverie for the health, the Heart of Gold for the health, and so I'm feeling fairly safe with that as far as having a health barrier. And I've got a Chain Vest for the Tryndamere and the Ashe. But you can see blue is just pushing on this last tower over here. Uh-oh, looks like Malzahar is going to go ahead and ult Fiddlesticks, but not under the pool. But he's going to go ahead and go down. Meanwhile, we are sort of split pushing, as while those three were having fun over there, we were pushing on this tower. It looks like this tower will be the one that is going to go down, and we'll Swain covers that one with his unkilled self. And now we're just going to keep on pushing onto this inhibitor turret. And this could be bad. Depending on if we find this or not. The tower is getting low. We need to kill it. The tower does in fact die right after the teamfight starts, and just got resolved. We're trying to get a chance to use his ultimate there, and subsequently Swain and Malphite do go down as well. And the damage is just a little bit too strong. The game gets called, and Fiddlesticks and Ashe are up. Ashe did throw her ultimate, but Akali danced through it, so he is able to kill Ashe without dying. There's Fiddlesticks with his ultimate, and since I headbutted him away, first used it, he didn't really get to do too much with that, and now we're going to go ahead and pick up this Nexus turret and go straight on to the Nexus. I don't know if we'll be able to finish it though, as there's a literal wall of minions blocking people from auto-attacking it. There's the CV at the gate. While that's going down, Caitlyn is instead going to be taking out this inhibitor tower, but it looks like we will in fact get the Nexus as we respond, and that will in fact be the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed that whole CV little tutorial thing that I did during this game, and just like the match overall. I mean, I liked it at least, although I didn't like the last match and we lost. I liked this match and we won, so I'm probably biased. But if you like what you see, be sure to subscribe, and if you don't, I apologize, but thanks for sticking with me this long. This is Observious, signing out.